people, I have a feeling I'm in for it. I don't know if this is going to be funny, if this is going to make me weepy, because Montauk Ed firstly made a gift to the channel for me to do this one, so I know it was carefully selected and Ed knows his stuff. So Ed, shout out to you. Thank you for this gift. Ed just seems to have a read on what's going to mess me up in some way or get me going on and on and on, like going into my philosophical talk and all this stuff. And I love that space. I do. So much so that I forget that it was Ed who requested it until the very end of the song. I just get into the concept of the song. So if you want to know how to get me, that's how to get me. Give me something that I could sink my teeth into that sends me off into philosophical, psychological, sociological, all kinds of broader considerations. And I'm a goner. Ed has a gift. Not just a gift to the channel, but that sort of vibe. To the guys that date my girls. And I've got 2 surrogate daughters, right? And I've got 2 nieces too, but my 2 surrogate daughters are precious to me, of course. They're not my biological kids, but they kind of look to me as like a father figure. And there are other young ladies too. I mean, some of them are married now, of course, but the paternal male protective instincts just never leave. They just don't. And I can step over the line once in a while, but I don't know. I'm a guy. What am I going to say? So anyway, Thomas Rhett, to the guys that date my girls. All right. Be here cleaning this gun type of song by Rodney Atkins. And Ed said, when I go to rate the song, if an 8.9 crosses my mind, uncross it, which is very poetic. Actually, I could put that as the banner on the top of my channel now. Oh, also, the link you sent me, Ed, was Vivo, or the lyric video is Vivo. So I'm just going to do the audio. I hope, I'm going to guess the video is germane to it, but I can't do Vivo. I always get blocked. So forgive me ahead of time if that's sad. Thomas have girls? Is he old enough? I thought he was pretty young.
To the guys that dating my girls, let's get one thing straight.
Oh.
When you pick them up, show up early. When you bring them home, don't be late. Mind your manners round the mama boys, if for what it's worth.
A lot.
If you want to get to their heart, you'll have to get to her.
Yep, mine and hers.
And I know that they won't be young forever, but I'm gonna hold on as long as I can. So when you take their hand, remember you're holding my whole world. Just a friendly reminder to the guys that date my girls.
That.
What long ago I was your age and the same thing was on mine. But when you pull it close, you save some room for Jesus. If you ever cross that line, I swear, boy, you're gonna need him. And I know that they won't be young forever,
beautiful thing, man.
If they're anything like the mama was, they're gonna bring some
bingo.
But she might be the lucky one that's written in the stars. So if she keeps you around, you better make her your whole world. Just a friendly reminder to the guys that date my girl. Just a little free advice to the guys that dating my girls.
Yeah. And, well, here's the thing, too. Well, those of you who've been around the channel a while, I'd say about a year ago, Caroline, who's one of my, not one of my two surrogate daughters, but she calls me her Jersey dad. So she's kind of like that. But I'm friends with her parents in South Carolina. They live in Walterboro, South Carolina. I've stayed at their home numbers of times. Love them dearly. Caroline has done a few reactions with me, and she's due to come out to do more. She's living in Jersey, she and her husband, and she's a handful. Believe me, she's a beautiful, cute, southern, proper girl in many ways, but man, she'll drive you nuts. And so will my Lex. And I have these honest talks with them when I met Jeremy, who Caroline is married to now, I met Jeremy, and next time I got Caroline alone, it was probably that night as I was leaving. I said, Caroline, come over here. I said, do not F this up. And I didn't say F because he's a good dude and she's a handful. And so that's a give and take. I mean, you get to know your girls, you get to know your kids, so to speak. And my Lex, she's got her stubbornnesses and she knows it. And so when I have talks with her about things that may or may not be going on in life, that comes into it. And I just talk, and she trusts me. And I love that part. But it isn't like they're perfect. We know that. But the truth is, we're still going to protect them. And it's like, even like I told my Lex, I said, look, I told her this probably, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. She stayed with me for a year. Then we moved her into New York City. She's from Arkansas, if you're new to the channel. But she's been in New York City for 10 years now. But when we moved her into the city, I cried the whole way home. We had the moving van and all that stuff. And I didn't know it was possible to have tears for like 45 minutes or an hour straight. But I was just so, I don't know, happily destroyed, I guess. I just was losing her for, whatever. Some of you folks can relate to this pretty well. But I did tell her at some point after that, a year, 2 years later, I said, look, Lex, here's the deal. Because she's a beautiful girl. All the guys wanted to date her. And I said, look, if you get in a serious relationship or you get married and it goes south and it goes wrong, I said, of course, I'm going to be in your camp and I'm going to help you through it. But my very first question to you is, what did you do? Because I don't rubber stamp it, because I know she's frustrating to guys. But that said, it doesn't matter. The first part of this, I'm on her side. You're not coming after her. Nobody's going to hurt. You're not going to hurt her. I'm going to do what I can as much as she'll let me help her through these relationships. And I love it when I get a phone call like she's having a problem with something. And I love that I'm a go-to person for her. I love that. I mean, of course, then you have to work through the issues and it isn't happy rainbows and lollipops, but it's a beautiful part of life. And you have a daughter and that's what you sign up for. And I have my surrogate daughters because I'm a sap, but I love them dearly. And for Thomas Rhett, before he was a big name, I saw him here. He was opening for somebody. I don't know who he was opening for. I didn't even know who he was at the time, but my buddy of mine, Tommy, went to see Frankie Ballard and maybe Rodney Atkins. They were playing together, and Frankie and I were friends before he even moved to Nashville and had a songwriting deal. And then he got a record contract with Warner. And I went to see him, and there's this dude standing sort of like just back near the railing in the back of the building where the tour buses are and stuff. And my friend Tommy knew who he was. He goes, that's Thomas Rhett over there. And I'm like, I don't know who Thomas is. So I think we might have said hi to him or something briefly. I don't remember it. But God, that might have been like 10, 12 years ago. So I guess Thomas is old enough to have daughters. But when you have them, when you have girls, you're signing up for something very different. We boys, when we're younger, we break stuff. We break each other. We break things. We set fire to things. We do that. Girls, in many ways, are easier to deal with until they hit probably age 10 nowadays, maybe definitely 12, when the emotions start kicking in. And every mother that I've spoken with, and I used to own and run a dance studio with my ex-wife. I was in that estrogen seat. My desk was in the lobby, and the mothers all said, almost to a mother, the boys are so much easier. And because once the girls reach like puberty and they start having those emotional swings and stuff, they're like, oh my God, they turn overnight. And I'm like, yeah, okay. We may break a few more things, but the girls, they'll break your heart, like they say here. So, oh, Ed, thank you. Look at me going off of my philosophical dissertation here, my non-intellectual philosophical discussion. All right. You know, you're going to need to pull the ice wagon up, and I'm not doing this on purpose. I don't think you planted the seed. The song itself doesn't qualify. Oh, shit. All right, I'm going to uncross it. I'm going with an 8.95. It's not quite in the 9.0 category, but I love the content. It's not an 8.8 and it's not a 9.0. So whatever number is in between that is the number I'm going. And this isn't ice, and I'm not pouring water down my back. And you can thank Montauk Ed for that. So have a great day. I'll see you on another video. And keep rocking the country, courtesy of the Montauk Ed Ice Wagon Company.